All right, everyone. Good evening and welcome to the 14th Annual Distinguished Alumni Celebration. Tonight, we are excited to celebrate the accomplishments of 5 amazing Parkland graduates. Joseph Stephen, Mary Kay Zersky-Vonda, Matthew Binder, Dr. Gary Gorsheimer, and Dr. Arlen Mans. Tonight is all about you. You deserve to be the center of attention, and we are so Parkland proud to be honoring you. You've congregated here in the library to pay tribute to extraordinary achievements, your commitment to excellence, and your unparalleled talent. Tonight, we connect the past with the present and recognize you as being the best of the best. Your personalized photo plaques, which hopefully you saw up there, are officially on display outside the library, and they're a constant reminder to the 3,300 students here at Parkland who seize the day. The 5 of you are now in rarefied air, as this is truly one of those once-in-a-lifetime moments. Without any further delay, let's commence this afternoon's festivities and bask in the exceptional accomplishments of our inductees. So please sit back and enjoy the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the Executive Director of the Education Foundation, Lisa Irvin, and the Foundation Board President, Tori Morgan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lisa Irvin, and I'm the director of the Parkland Education Foundation, and we are thrilled to be here with you tonight, celebrating our 2014th annual Distinguished Alumni Celebration.
And my name is Tori Morgan, president of the Foundation Board. Every year, this ceremony serves as a powerful reminder of what a Parkland education makes possible. We aren't just here to look back at what these 5 amazing individuals did decades ago. We are here to celebrate how they took the foundation they built in these very hallways and used it to change the world.
So that word, foundation, that is the core of everything that we do. Our mission is to ensure that students have the same launch pad that our honorees once had at Parkland. But as needs grow and the funding landscape changes, our commitment has to grow too.
Parkland doesn't just meet challenges, we rise above them. This past year, through our teacher-led grant program, the foundation funded over 96 grants, totaling more than $270,000. Whether it's 21st Century Innovation Lab or ukuleles for an elementary school that spark a lifelong passion, we are investing in the next generation of distinguished alumni.
But as you all know, none of this happens in a vacuum. This doesn't happen with just one person. It takes a village. And in our case, a dedicated community. We want to thank our title sponsor, St. Luke's, our administration, our incredible event committee, our Parkland Education Foundation team. We've got Laura Scobell and Liz Demian here, who none of this would be possible without them, and our foundation board members. We are so truly blessed with every one of you because you make this mission possible.
Tonight, we add 5 names to our wall of honor outside the library, bringing our alumni network to 73 extraordinary individuals. From Broadway and NASA to global diplomacy and elite medicine, these honorees prove that a Parkland degree has no ceiling. To our students watching, these 5 individuals sat in the same desks you do. Their success is a roadmap for your own.
So if you feel inspired tonight by their stories, we invite you to participate. We do have an online auction. Every bid counts towards money invested back in our students. And you might also get some nice items. We have a great auction with over 100 items.
To give you a closer look at the impact a great education can have on its graduates, please join us in watching this very short video.
It fills me with so much pride to think that not only did I graduate from what I always have believed and known to be the best school district in the Lehigh Valley. It's to know that I made it a purpose that when I became older, as a mom, as a parent, to have my kids become a part of the Parkland community, and that was very important to me. But I'd always hear these comments from other people who weren't in Parkland saying, oh, it's too big. You know, your kids might not play sports. They'll get lost. It'll be difficult. And while the potential for those things to happen are true in a big school district like this, I found it to be completely an edge, a good thing, because Parkland teaches you that that's the real world. When you get out there and graduate from Parkland, you know that you've got to work hard for everything. You've got to make a seat at the table for yourself, whether it's a spot on the team, whether it's a role in the play, whether it's a place in the band, whether it's the class or elective that you want. You've got to go for it.
My name is Jamie Boritz. I am a senior project manager with Alloy 5 Architecture. So this is not actually the first Parkland construction project I've worked on in the district. I've worked on Veterans Elementary School and Schnecksville Elementary School, those projects there. As an alumni, to continue to have involvement in the district and be a part of the growth of the community means a lot to me.
It's exciting to be back here at my old high school. My class was the first class that were seniors here in this building, and I just can remember being 17 years old and feeling like I owned this building. Like, me and my friends owned Parkland High School. Like, we were the senior class, and I felt so supported and encouraged by all the staff here. They really set us up to conquer the world.
So at the Parkland Education Foundation, we raise funds all year to provide amazing opportunities for our students. Distinguished alumni are the result of a Parkland education, and we want to keep that result going. We want to keep our alumni that come out of Parkland strong and having all the opportunities that they could possibly have. And that is what we do here at the Parkland Education Foundation.
Special thank you to Jay Greth and our entire TV studio crew for doing such an amazing job with that video. In the videos you will soon see for each of our inductees. Jay and his crew are truly the best. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for, it's time to induct the class of 2026. First up, from the Parkland High School class of 1994, Joseph Stevens. By the way, we're going to have some fun tonight. So. Joe asked if this is a roast. It's not, Joe, I swear. I know your position at CIS. We're good. As soon as I saw Joe's current job title, Special Agent Naval Criminal Investigative Services, or NCIS, I immediately thought, okay, I need to be very careful with my English. This man, a superhero, if you will, has won multiple meritorious honor awards, which Joe will elaborate on in this video. He studied Near Eastern languages and culture, law, and public administration at the University of Pennsylvania. Joe has a Master of Arts in Defense and Strategic Studies from the United States Naval War College. He has provided protection to U.S. military service members while deployed in high-threatening environments. Most impressive, and which Joe did not mention in his video, that he was a top 5 homecoming king candidate at Parkland High School. And he won a chicken leg contest at Springhouse Middle School. Did I bring that? Never been duplicated. That is a double. True story. I can't believe I got that out of him. I usually like to do a deep dive into the inductees and get them to help me better tell their stories. But I figured I would need top secret government clearance, any information on Joe. So I started with his old college buddy, Parkland High School earth science teacher, Tom Rizek. But Tom was like a vault. He pretty much did the Navy mantra, loose lips and shit, so Joe, I got nothing from him, nothing. So then I decided to get resourceful and, use my powers at Parkland, and I called down his daughters to my office, Grace and Isabella. Who spilled the tea, so to speak. I I said, girls, show me the human side of Josephine. And may or may not have promised amazing schedules for Isabella the next 3 years. So you don't even have to come to school, you're good. So it turns out Joe loves to take walks in the neighborhood with the family dog, Teddy. Now, I'm thinking Teddy's a pit bull, a Rottweiler, a cane corso, something fitting an NCIS agent, but no, he's a 10-pound Shih Tzu Bichon mix, and the walks are leisurely strolls with lots of lovey baby talk about it to Teddy. I thought I was going to get rid of watch program. Nope, not at all. Joe, the girls raved about your positivity, your sense of humor, and your constant motivation to overcome fears. On occasion, this has backfired as you had to ride Steel Force about 10 times when you helped the girls overcome their fear of roller coasters, so I get it. They kept saying what an amazing father and husband you are, and even pointed out that while you have a tendency to leave the burgers on the grill a bit too long sometimes, your coolness factor is next level, as your collection of Air Jordans, which you coordinate with your outfits, is unmatched. Instant street cred. Grace and Isabella, I left the beach story with the road wave out. You can revisit that tonight, probably at the table. I did have the pleasure of speaking to Joe in What a Story, a true profile in courage and resiliency who overcame so many obstacles. He had a tough time, but he had teachers that believed in him. One of those teachers being Randy Caroni, who was with us this evening, along with Dave Deal and Ed Books. Randy, Dave, and Ed saw so much potential in Joe, who admittedly was never focused in school. So they nominated him for a $16,000 scholarship to Bloomington University, where Joe's meteoric rise to success truly took off. In speaking with Joe, I see why he's become such a success, and I see why his daughters rave about his positivity and motivation. In the short time we spoke, he regularly used motivational phrases such as, it's never over, it's never too late to achieve success, there are so many lessons to be learned in failure, and my all-time favorite, sometimes in life you have to make your own hoagie. Careful what you put into it. I'm so stealing that and using it on my students. That's actually, I've used it a couple times. Pretty cool. I wanted to say sheets or Wawa, so sheets, honestly. So before Joe comes up to say a few words, let's watch this video from the Parkland News Crew.
Special Agent Joe Stephen with the NCIS. How does it feel to be recognized as a distinguished alumni here at Parkland?
It was, to be honest with you, it's an honor and it's very humbling. I had a great time at Parkland. I really, made a lot of really good lifelong friends here, and I met some really wonderful teachers who had an impact on me. I can't say that I was one of the hardest working students, but teachers that believed in me and worked with me really helped me get to the next level and make it to college.
And going throughout high school, did you have ambitions of working for the government and working in the NCIS?
There was no NCIS when I was in high school, but I've always been interested in investigations. I was always curious. And then when I was graduating college, there was a job fair and I had met an NCIS agent.
What's your favorite memory from your time at Parkland?
My favorite memory at Parkland. Not only was I doing sports, I also liked doing stage crew. I liked helping build the sets, which I got teased a lot by the other football players for, working the stage stuff, which was a lot of fun. But I really hung out with a diverse group of friends.
And would you say that stuff set you up for where you're at now?
It's hard to determine the little things that you learn along the way that kind of shape who you become later on in life. I went on later to have 4 master's degrees, 2 of them from UPenn. But the truth is, I'm lucky I made it out of high school. I just wasn't really focused when I was younger.
What has been your proudest or most memorable moment of your career?
I received several meritorious honor awards from various ambassadors when I served as a diplomat in Egypt and Jordan. And I also received the Medal for Global War on Terrorism from Secretary of Defense. But I think what I would consider the crown jewel of my career was when I served as what we call a special agent afloat, which means you're on a military warship for 1 year. And so I spent 1 year on the USS Bataan with US sailors and Navy Marines. And in that position, I was the staff counterintelligence officer to the Commodore, which is like the captain in the Navy, and the Marine Corps colonel. You give them advice on counterintelligence, counterterrorism activities while we're deployed overseas for a year. I had an opportunity to fly on so many different helicopters and do things like that that I never had dreamed of doing. So that was something really important.
What advice would you give to anyone looking into this career path?
Well, the first advice I give to anybody now, because I'm at a point in my life where you reflect back on your youth and you think about these things. It's going to sound simple. Be a good person. And when you surround yourself with good people, then I think it's like a backup safety mechanism, because you kind of tend to behave like the people you spend time with.
Thank you for joining us. From Parkland TV, I'm Owen Fainel.
It's very proud to go Parkland swag bag, and to thank our football coaches Mike Fasciano, head wrestling coach Eddie Kiko, athletic director Amy Stevens, and director Jason Rue. They really helped out with some swag that's personalized for you guys. So we have the Parkland football shirt for you. Your starters did decide, so it'll be good. We have some Parkland wrestling swag. Baseball hat in case those walks with Kenny. People are yelling at you, pull your hat down. Okay, I got it. These two resistance as a former wrestler. We got you. Wear it on your walls with Kenny, wear it around the house when the girls are gone. To Mr. Steven, you're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm working my conversation with Joe. Back at home at Fieldhouse before games is a lock-in. Listen to a certain song, so as his walk-up song today, because he has to speak, I'm going to play it for him. Wrong song. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 1994, Joe Stevens. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a truly humbling experience to be recognized. And, guys, thank you so much. And Donna, Steckel, Eric, thank you guys for everything. Really appreciate putting this together. Humbled to be up here with very, very highly successful people. I'm going to take a minute just to talk about something personal. We all have our successes, and at different stages of life, you kind of learn new things. And I really kind of got to a point where I thought about, what does it mean to be successful? And being a good dad is successful. Being a good husband, a good friend. Those are also accomplishments that we don't think about sometimes. I lost my parents at a young age, and I lived with 3 different families in high school. But I had some really, really good teachers. And today I want to dedicate this award to teachers that we don't think about as much. We kind of come, we do our 4 years, and we move on. And I ran into one of them that had a huge impact on me, Mr. Claroni. And, I'm not supposed to be emotional. We all have these ideas about people. I do carry a firearm 24/7. But I also think that it's a measure of strength. It's a lot harder to express emotion than it is to keep it to yourself. Again, if I can say anything about anybody, it's teachers. I want to thank my wife and my daughters, obviously. Nobody does anything alone. There's people that stand with you, and they're there while you're going through challenging times.
They put up a lot with me. They moved all over the world. Been to many countries, been in danger many times. Again, thank you to all the teachers out there. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Next up, from the class of 1993, Mary Kay Zersky. At this moment, every single person in this room should be self-conscious about their hair. Today is not the day to have a bad hair. My wife can attest, I'm not too much to fuss with my hair, but by the end of the day, I usually have an alfalfa-type towel sticking up. Today, I sprayed that thing down, I flipped up the front, so for you. After an amazing phone call with Mary Kay a few weeks ago and a thorough review of her sister Karen's nomination application, a famous quote from Forrest Gump came to mind. My mom always said, life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get. Since 2013, Mary Kay has been the head of hair for Wicked. Mary Kay did not envision her journey after graduating from Parkland High School and Plum Park College to have her working with hair in New York City, and she hated the thought of being in the city. Well, she now lives in New York City. From 1999 to 2004, Mary Kay lived in Atlanta and worked at the Alliance Theater Company. Ironically, this big southern city is where she met her husband. So by my count, it's big city 2, Mary Kay is 0. Mary Kay did also not envision a career where she would work with hair. Mary Kay thought she would be a seamstress, a skill her mom taught her at an early age. Mary Kay sewed and designed many of her costumes for her entire theater career. She even spent a summer at the age of 16 sewing costumes at Bloomberg Summer Theater. But after coming to see her sisters play in the orchestra at the high school production of Oklahoma, she was bitten by the theater. Now, according to Mary Kay's sister Karen, this one's Karen. Excellent. Karen always knew Mary Kay would end up with a career in theater and hair because, according to Karen, as a child, Mary Kay would continually cut the hair on Karen's Barbie dolls and her Marie Osmond doll. Points for anyone who knows what Marie Osmond is. By the way, Karen, when I was fact-checking the story with Mary Kay, she assured me that you had lost complete interest in Barbie and Marie Osmond, so they were fair game. Mary Kay's wigs have been in magazines, in pictures outside of the theater, and have been in the drama bookshop window in New York City. And she received a ton of critical acclaim for her role as a tree in her first appearance on stage in Raggedy and Andy. I mean, the critical acclaim came from Mom, but you did say she was always encouraging. But Mary Kay, Raggedy Ann has some great red hair, so I get it. So in review, Mary Kay hated the city. She thought she was going to be a seamstress. And in one final twist of fate, she vowed she would never be a runner. Her husband, brother, and mother-in-law are all marathoners. Nope, not Mary Kay, or so we thought. Now, while this is not the Athletic Hall of Fame, all it took was one small neighborhood 5K, where she won her age group to ignite the inner athlete in her. Mary Kay took it a step further and started doing sprint triathlon. I went back to going, oh yeah, I know this one. And fitting in swims when she could, and she would bike to work. Her first race was in Central Park, and she expanded her horizons to an Olympic distance while swimming in the Hudson River. So, the Hudson, but Mary Kay assured me that the mop only dumps the bodies in East River, not the Hudson. Don't take me. Mary Kay has continued to dominate her age group with many victories, and in an act of shameless self-promotion, which I love, so I do the same thing, she displays her medals for everyone to see. Well, now Mary Kay has a plaque that is displayed on the wall at Parkland for eternity. So let's now watch Mary Kay's video and she has to say.
Hi, I'm Kelly Wood, and I'm here today at the Gershwin Theater with Mary Kay Zersky, who was recently inducted into Parkland's Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. Now, can you give us a little summary of what you do here at Wicked?
Yes, so I'm the head of the hair department. So as you see here, all of these wigs, I am in charge of making sure that their styling looks good, that it looks exactly like what the designer asked for, costume designer and hair designer. I have 3 people who work with me. And I make sure that they all are doing the job and making sure that they are taking care of their actors properly. But mostly it's about maintaining the design of the show.
So how would you say your time at Parkland set you up for success?
I think, first of all, getting to be in the shows, I think helped me learn how to work with other people on the same project. You know, work as a community, especially in theater, you have to work together with so many different people and in so many different aspects of theater. And, you know, the program, like, it's grown immensely since I was in school, but it mattered to us very much back then. So we put our whole heart and soul into it. So I think working with other people who worked equally as hard made me feel like I could succeed and I could take this somewhere. And just seeing my friends who are so talented and being like, I'm amongst them and I could really do something with this. And just knowing that I wanted to go into theater just because I loved it so much, you know, playing with my friends. I was like, I just want to do that all the time.
So Parkland really prides themselves on having the 3 pillars of education with arts, academics, and athletics. So how does it feel to be recognized by a school that has such a focus on the arts?
Oh my gosh, it's incredible, because I think if we didn't have the program we did, even when I was there, I don't think I would have seen this as a possibility, as a dream. And I will admit that when I was in high school, it didn't feel like as much, that we didn't have as much focus on what we were doing. And so I'm very proud to see where the arts have come in the school, because there were so many incredible artists. I felt like we struggled a little bit, but we still made it happen. We still had a really good time. And so to see that you know, the arts are so valued in the school at this point, seeing, you know, that there's now, you guys have like whole wings and stuff like that. Like, there's some jealousy, but there's also such a pride knowing that more students can come out and like really strive and survive and show what Parkland High School students can do overall, but definitely in the arts. I think, you know, a lot of my friends were incredible artists, and then they went on to take on what we call in this business normal jobs, but they excel in their jobs because of their background in the arts, because of what it has to offer. So I'm just super proud to be part of that and to be noticed for being an artist in public school.
Congratulations again on being inducted into the Distinguished Alumni, and thank you for sitting down with us today.
Thank you so much. This is great.
Before I call you on a couple gifts. First and foremost, the whole back, so not turning over. We have a Parkland swim cap for the swimming lesson. Runs in the neighborhood, cross country. There we go. Bad hair day, baseball hat. T-shirt from our last production. And Parkland Athletics for those runs when it's a little bit cooler.
Nice.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens, for this.
Thank you.
Drop it off right here. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 1993, Mary Kay Uzersky.
Hello, I'm so honored to be chosen by the Tony voters for this award. Just kidding, there is no hair and makeup award at the Tonys. It's such an honor to be recognized by my high school. They have been putting on incredible theater for many years. My friends and classmates have gone on to do incredible and impressive things. Many greater achievements than mine. My siblings were much better students and deserve awards just for putting up with me. I'd like to thank the committee, everyone I spoke to and interacted with for this award, Eric Roberts, Lisa Urban, John Steckel, and Tori Morgan. Thank you so much for everything. And I really want to thank the amazing students who came to visit me at work. Incredible to meet them. They were so professional. Wicked is so protective of their brand that I joked with them that I was probably the hardest interview to obtain. They went through a lot with my PR department. They had a lot of questions. I enjoyed spending the day with them. They make me excited for the future of Parkland drama. Thank you to my parents for their enduring support. Attending many a play, concert, and dance recital. I've seen the footage, and there's a reason I'm better backstage. Thanks to my siblings, who have been a huge driver for me to succeed. We are very competitive. We have to beat each other at everything. Special thanks goes to my sister Karen, who not only nominated me to my great surprise, but was the catalyst for my entrance into Parkland Theater by getting me into Winnie the Pooh when I was still only in 9th grade. The older drama kids were gods to me. Aaron Morgan was like Leonardo DiCaprio. I would lose my breath every time I saw him. Thank you to my son, who is not here today, but in school at the famous LaGuardia School for the Performing Arts in New York City, the FAME School, as they call it. He's setting up his own path for a career as a rock star. Thank you so much to my husband, who essentially gave up his own acting career to take care of our son at night while I'm busy at work taking care of other people. I've learned many lessons from the shows I've worked on over the years, if you'll indulge me. Tarzan, finding your chosen family and figuring out who you truly are. Memphis, shared love of music and acceptance across racial lines. Coast of Utopia, revolution and fighting for what's right. Wicked, acceptance of our differences and how to paint someone green. Guys and Dolls, sometimes it's good if the show doesn't last very long. The Producers, friendship and how taking advantage of little old ladies for profit will land you in jail. And Spamalot, searching for your purpose, your holy grail, and something about huge tracts of land. I'm grateful for the path that brought me here. Here's to my enduring friendships that I made in the high school theater department. And for someone who said that she would never, ever run a marathon, I'm running the New York City Marathon in the fall.
Thank you, Mary. Next up, from the class of 1991, Mr. Matthew Ditter. The current hit movie, Project Hail Mary. Science teacher Riley Grace wakes up on a spaceship with no recollection of who he is or how he got there. As his memory slowly returns, he soon discovers he must solve the riddle behind the mysterious substance that is causing the sun to die. The details of the mission unravel and calls on his scientific training and sheer ingenuity to save the day. Now, if this same scenario would play out in real life, the only teacher who went on this ship is Matthew Ditter. Why, you ask? Matt is an Eagle Scout with 6 Eagle Palms. In 2015, he received the Outstanding Eagle Scout Award. In 2022, he was named a Distinguished Eagle Scout. The Boy Scouts' motto is be prepared. Be in a constant state of readiness, both mentally and physically. Do your duty and help others handle emergencies. Oh, right there. 2, Matt was a middle school science teacher for 14 years. One of the subjects he taught was astronomy. He was a state national teacher of the year, semifinalist, and finalist numerous times, and won a faculty scholars award for technology education. Number 3, considering himself a science geek and space nerd at heart, Matt was selected as a finalist for NASA's 2004 astronaut class. He was selected out of a field of over 3,500 extremely qualified candidates. He currently serves on NASA's network of educator astronaut teachers. Number 4, the weather in space goes awry, no worries. Matthew has a degree in meteorology, is a private weather consultant, and currently works part-time as an on-air meteorologist for WGAL-TV in Lancaster, and has spent some time at WFMZ-TV in Allentown. He's also a college professor, teaching meteorology to students at West Chester University and Harrisburg Area Community College. So whether it be a geomagnetic storm, a solar flare, or heavy solar winds, Matt has it covered. The only thing I couldn't convince Matt to do was next year call Dr. Madsen for a snow day when I didn't feel like getting up. Then I had requests. I'll still work on them for that. So basically, Matt is the real Riley. When I spoke with Matt, he was humble almost to a fault. Heck, Matt, if I were in your position, I would roll in here with a space suit, command that I play Elton John's Rocket Man as I walk up song. But Matt stressed that most of his success as a professional was a result of his students and their work. It was actually a student who nominated him for the astronaut program. As a K-12 Parkland student, Matt's Parkland pride was evident during our conversation. Matt thoroughly enjoyed our music program, having played in the marching band and pit orchestra. So in the early 90s, nice little story Matt told me, Parkland football was, to be honest, not very good. The band was my Mary Kay said, yep. The band was much better, okay? Then when Joe came along in 94, much better. So on Fridays before games, Matt and his bandmates would play something called bando football, often against the opposing team's band. No pads, full contact. Our football team would actually come to watch them play. And that I know the guys from the 91 team, I would take you guys any day over them. Matt did break a rib in one of those games, but he managed to cowboy up and give the fans what they came for that night, the band, not the football team. So let's sit back and enjoy that video.
Hi, I'm Molly Fares, and I'm here with Matthew Binder, a recent Distinguished Alumni inductee, and we are so happy you're here, and congratulations again on your nomination.
Thank you.
What was your favorite memory from your time at Parkland?
I think one of my favorite memories was I was involved with all the bands and all the musical organizations and performing the Music Man. I was in the play, I was in the pit orchestra, and at the end of the Music Man, there's a bunch of young students on stage who can't play their instruments because the whole thing was a sham. So in the pit, we swapped instruments and then we played on the instruments we didn't know how to play. And that was just, it was fantastic. I loved my time in the pit orchestra.
Did you have a teacher that inspired you from Parkland?
I think I have a great Parkland story. In 6th grade at Parkway Manor Elementary School, I had Mr. Larish, and I got in trouble in his class. And he decided a punishment for me was I was going to cut out the weather map out of the paper every day and come in and post it on the wall and do a 1-minute weather presentation to the class. So I did it the first 4 days, and then the 5th morning I got up, and on the bus I realized I forgot it. So I went up to him and I said, listen, I don't have it, but I think I'm on to something here. Can I just wing it? And he said, yeah, go wing it. And so I did that weather forecast for the class, and that's what really got my interest in weather and meteorology. He became my favorite teacher after that. And then Mr. Search gave me a chance in middle school to do weather forecasts for him. I believe he's a distinguished alumni, Mr. Search. And Mr. Weatherhold, who was my physics teacher, always did some hands-on fun activities. And when I became a teacher, I think back to what he did. And that's the kind of lessons like I love doing as a science teacher. What clubs and activities did you participate through high school? I was most involved in all the band programs, marching band, concert band, jazz band at the time. Also, I was on the chess team. I feel like I need to do this when I say that. I was on the chess team, and then part of the clubs, I was in the German club, and I was in National Honor Society. How does it feel to be a distinguished alumni? I was surprised, but I'm honored. But I think it speaks to the great education I got at Parkland. It got me a chance to reflect on those teachers that were the foundation of my learning. Got me thinking about Mr. Larish and that experience that led me on this course of meteorology and how the teachers supported me all throughout that journey. I think teachers do fantastic things, and sometimes it's just a single word, or it's just one little thing that you do that as a teacher you don't understand the effect that it's going to have on that student. As a teacher, I try to remember that every day. Thank you so much, and congratulations again. From Parkland TV, I'm Molly Fares.
So Matt, your weather position, it's going to get windy, and again, the Mary Kay effect, so it's fine. winter forecast, winter hat. You see any Parkland football player from 91, band hat, and some other merch in this bag for you, my friends. So congratulations. We'll hand it over to you.
Thank you for the swag bag. I can tell you, after seeing what was in the earlier bags, that my kids could not be prouder that I was not on the wrestling team. In my video, you heard about David Larish in the mid-1980s. If you said that name in the halls of Parkway Manor Elementary, you would have gotten a reaction. Mr. Larish was one of the few male teachers we had. He was a large man, at least compared to us at the time, and had a loud booming voice you could hear from one end of the school to the other when he was disappointed in someone. He made bullies cry and perfected the pick a brick outside when he misbehaved on the playground. There was so much chatter about him that it became abundantly clear that he did not get on the bad side of Mr. Larish. And as you heard, in his 6th grade class, I immediately got on the bad side of him. That first weather forecast was in Mr. Larish's room. And it was a punishment for misbehavior, but with the hindsight of 30 years of teaching, I see clearly as an informed teacher who cared enough to get to know me. Mr. Larish had the understanding that I was interested in science and found a way to try to channel that energy into a love of weather and public service. And it worked. As you heard in 8th grade, Mr. Search in his class. Whenever there was a snowstorm coming, he would come in and say, "It's time for the Binder Channel." And I had to get up and explain the storm that was coming. He wanted to know if we were going to have a snow day, because Mr. Search loves snow days. 42 years later, I'm still doing it, filling in on WFMZ, and sometimes when I do that, I wonder if Mr. Search and Mr. Larish's family understand their hand in this. I've been blessed in life, blessed to have the family I was born into, and for the family that's here today. My kids make me a better teacher because I try to treat my students as kids of other parents. And I'm blessed I ended up at Parkland School District, and for my colleagues at Hempfield School District, I've stolen from a bunch of people in both districts in my teaching lessons. I've one in the room in the back here. And finally, I'm blessed to have the students I've had who worked so hard to build a program that achieves as a group more than they can alone. They're the major reasons why I'm here. And I want to thank the Parkland Education Foundation for this honor, and using this ceremony as a platform to recognize the excellence and caring nature of the staff at Parkland School District. They've provided close to $2 million to teachers to enrich the curriculum and enhance learning experiences. And I can speak firsthand of the importance of grant support. And the support that you give the foundation tonight helps them provide teachers with what they need to adapt to their students and their needs. As both a meteorologist and a teacher, I think I'm one of the few people in the country that hear these two lines. First, boy, I wish I had a job I could have all fall summer. And, boy, I wish I had a job where I could be wrong all the time. I can smile at those two, but there's a third one I hear that I actually don't like as much, and that's those I can do and those I can't teach. I'd really like to change that expression to something closer to what I think is reality. How about those I can have a teacher to thank, and those I can't just haven't found the right one yet? On the wall outside are 6 others in the teaching profession. There's 2 administrators, our guidance counselor, MC, a professor, and 2 teachers, Mr. Search and Mr. Zellner. But everyone else, including those 6, had a common thread. Someone in this district who cared about them and honored and respected them, got to know them, and made an impact on them. So it's truly an honor for me today to join them, and I'm so proud of the work of this profession. The internet can give our students the answers right there in our classroom. AI can take our tricks and help students with facts about curriculum, but they're not going to steal a teacher's ability to get to know them and to enhance their lives. So I want to ask you to think about who's your Mr. Larish. I want to thank Mr. Larish for enhancing my life. And if you meet me at some point this evening, I'd love to hear a story of a teacher that helped you to continue to honor our mentors. Thank you.
Okay, this next one's going to be tough. They're lifelong Pittsburgh fans, Steelers, Pirates, the Penguins. I have to introduce the medical director of the Philadelphia Flyers. Lots of drafts last night. Lots of drafts last night. Real sleepless night. Sleepless night. Dr. Gary Dorfer. class of 1973. Otherwise, flyers won overtime last night. When my initial email to Dr. Dorsheimer requesting to have a brief chat so I can craft a perfect introduction went unanswered, I began to worry. Was it that his nominator, a friend of mine from way back, Donna Hitchman, informed him that I was a Pittsburgh sports fan? You see, Dr. Dorsheimer spent a part of his career currently as the medical director of the Philadelphia Flyers, the assistant primary care director for the Philadelphia 76ers, and the team sports medicine physician for the Philadelphia Union. Where's his Philly bias coming into play by that meeting? And he rolls in tonight with a Super Bowl ring, like, here we go. And I thought, what's going on here? I'm a Pittsburgh guy who's sending his, Flyers goons like Dave Schultz and Garnet Hathaway and Nick Sealer to see me and rough me up, but Dr. Madsen would have been like, yeah, that's fine, Robert deserves to beat that anyway. So many questions. So being that my daughter had an appointment at CHOP in mid-April, my plan was to hunt him down, as he is currently the section chief, general internal medicine at UPenn Hospital, and the assistant program director for the primary care sports medicine fellowship program at CHOP. My mission was unsuccessful in hunting him down. I just let the air out of the tires and call it a day. So in a desperation attempt, I sent Dr. Dorsheimer one last email. Lo and behold, it was answered. Turns out he'd recently gotten a new laptop and lost all my contact information. He got calls in the shop to verify the story of Dr. Dorsheimer. During my conversation with Dr. Dorsheimer, it was quite evident that he exuded Parkland pride. Even though he may have been one of the first ever victims of redistricting. He attended Parkway Manor, Citronia, and Kratzer Elementary School, the Parkland trifecta. So, Mr. Crones, I know you were out here, so if we get any complaints about any future redistricting, look what it did to Dr. Dorsheimer, and if that doesn't work, we'll send the fire goons to their house. We should have no problems going forward with redistricting. Dr. Dorsheimer had a true appreciation for the quality of education he received at Parkland, and he waxed nostalgic about many of his former teachers and classmates, which we'll hear about in his video. Outside of the classroom, Dr. Dorsheimer had a phenomenal experience with the Parkland High School band as a trumpet player and was also a class officer. After leaving the hallowed halls of Parkland High School and matriculating at Muhlenberg College, Dr. Dorsheimer attended medical school at the University of Pennsylvania, which was the springboard for a career that had him named top doctor by Philadelphia Magazine annually from 2002 to 2013. He was named a U.S. News and World Report top doctor. Dr. Dorsheimer's focus on providing exceptional individualized care for his patients truly separates him from his peers. Now let's enjoy Dr. Dorsheimer's video.
Good evening, I'm Ali Frederich here with Parkland TV. Today we're here with Dr. Gary Dorsheimer, who's a recent inductee into the Parkland High School Distinguished Alumni. Congratulations and thank you for having us here.
Thank you. So glad you could come down here to the Flyers home stadium.
How does it feel to be inducted as a Distinguished Alumni?
It's a great honor. There's a song by Bryan Adams, The Summer of '69. Well, mine's probably the summer of '72, but high school is, looking back on it, one of the best times of life. Things were a lot simpler then, a lot less complex. You're sort of the big guy on campus and was in the band playing trumpet and in pre-college courses and did a great job of preparing me for what I was facing in the future.
How did Parkland set you up for your future success?
I think, being in the college prep courses, they were hard. I had the hardest teacher for English all 4 years, Amelia Leak. I even looked her up in the yearbook because I still have that. And when I got to Muhlenberg College for undergraduate, I handed in my first paper. He handed it back and said, "You won't have any trouble with this course this year." I opted out of German for Muhlenberg College from the German courses I had at Parkland. Probably one of the most valuable courses I took was typing, because at that time they were just starting to type term papers. So now with everything in medicine that's all typed and not written anymore, it was a great course. But Parkland was just a wonderful experience for preparing you for college.
What is your favorite Parkland memory?
Favorite Parkland memory? That's a tough one because there are a lot of really great ones. Probably freshman year in the band, I and the senior trumpet player started playing more of the cheers and things like that at the football games. Certainly during the rest of school, probably just the friendships that you made. Not to say that a lot of them have lasted real long, but you know, you were close to people at that time.
What advice would you give someone who wants to go into the medical career?
If you want to go into pre-med, keep studying hard like you've been doing, because you need to get the good grades to get there, or pre-dental school, or even veterinarian school is probably even harder. And you know, be devoted to what you're going to do, but still make friends along the way and have a good time. Band was a great way to have a good time, and you know, just the other times. So I think it's really, you know, work hard and enjoy what you're doing. It sounds kind of cliche, but working hard will get you really far in life.
What are some accomplishments that come to mind from your career so far?
Well, certainly the sports teams have been great. This is my 42nd season with the Flyers, and so it's a lot of great accomplishments, but once again, it's the people you meet along the way. They aren't the biggest stars of the team, but there's some players that just stand out again for that hard work, and certainly in hockey, grit and nothing hurts me, and those sorts of things. So,
congratulations once again, and thank you for having us.
Thank you.
By the way, Matt Binder also said typing was one of his most valuable classes. So both of you, that is amazing. And my final thing was from your whole appreciate this. So your English teacher later became Mrs. Amy Udis. I had her senior year for English. I can't believe you went through 4 years of that. Whoa, I mean, incredible teacher, but tough. So kudos to you for that. The swag bag. So maybe once in a while wear something non-Philadelphia sports. Got your nice Parkland Athletic shirt here. We got your Parkland Athletic right here. Baseball hat, of course, on your day. Memento to the band here. So, congratulations. Super Bowl is huge.
I didn't even realize that most of what I was going to say is in the video anyway. To my wife, to my family, my friends, and my Parkland old and new colleagues, thank you for having me here today. How did I get this honor? Well, first and foremost is Donna Hipsham, one of your Parkland stars here, and it's through education. Her daughter was my sports medicine fellow, and when I found out she grew up 5 blocks from where I grew up, went to Parkland High School, played the trumpet, was chief medical resident during her residency. She practically had the fellowship wrapped up, but she spent a great year with us. Donna came to a Sixers game. We sat for a quarter, probably more, and just reminisced about Parkland. Then I brought her to a Flyers game. And as her jaw was coming up off the ground, she said, "Why aren't you in this?" So thank you to her, and this has been a great day today. And why did Parkland prepare me for this today? How did it do it? Number one is the obvious reason, education, which you've heard about. 4 years of hard English with James Joyce up my wazoo. Really prepared me well. And the typing course obviously was a big thing. Parkland also fostered my leadership potential, whether it was in the trumpet player in the band, first trumpet player, whether it was involvement in student government, other aspects of high school. It helped teach me to be a leader and to take responsibility. It taught me to get involved and really strive to be the best. And that's what you need to do, not only in my career, but many other careers. Parkland was also a great example, number 3, of teamwork. I take care of teams. I understand a lot from teams, and Parkland taught me that. The band was a team. Study projects at the Jungle, we had a great team there. Working together in science labs, which I certainly did during medical school. It prepared me well for many aspects of teamwork in medical school and residency. There's a small team in your anatomy cadaver lab that those people I'll never forget. And actually, there's 2 of them that I still take care of as patients. But the biggest team is running a code. You have somebody trying to die in front of you, and you really work as a team to try to make that not happen. So someday when my English skills come to the fore, my wife's going to help me write this. There's going to be a book on probably a lot of examples in medicine, and the name of the book is Once You Run a Code. Once you run a code, everything else in life really isn't quite all that tough if you keep it in perspective. And then the last thing I think that Parkland prepared me for was to mentor others and give back. We gave back to our underclass students. I've taught hundreds of medical trainees, but in life now most important is teaching my patients and my patient athletes, giving them knowledge to share in the decision making for their health care. And I give back by caring for the families and alumni of the teams. I get to see a lot of really cool people like Bobby Clark and Bill Barber, some of those folks. Not only in the old Pittsburgh Penguins, but I lived through a 5-overtime game in Pittsburgh a bunch of years ago. Unfortunately, we were on the winning end of that one. Big Primo signed my copy of the score sheet for the game. So looking back through my years at Parkland, I learned how you can get the most out of your time at Parkland High. As others have said, work hard, be committed to what you're doing, have a passion for what you're doing. Your passion may change over time, but that passion is what really helps you have fun, because you are nose to the grindstone, especially in medicine, but you have to learn to have fun along the way. And that's what will help make your dreams come true with your family, your friends, your classmates, and in your profession. So thank you very much for this wonderful.
My daughter always says, Dad, it's time to lock in. Dr. Alumni, class of 1958, lots of big words about that. Now, as a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh, I like to think that I have a pretty good understanding of how everything in the universe works. But when looking at Dr. Mance's nomination packet, I'd begin the question is understanding. PhD of physics, professor of physics, 170 papers published in international scientific journals, several review articles and book chapters, in-depth study in cold molecules, high-resolution spectrometers, lasers, and so much more. Dr. Mance's research extended beyond our borders as he partnered with scientists from India, France, Russia for cutting-edge research. His work in Russia, a coordinated effort between the U.S. Army and Nobel Peace Prize winner Professor Alexander Prokhorov. His work basically led to the invention of the laser. I do wonder, Dr. Mance, why you and Professor Prokhorov not create a laser that can remove that birthmark from Gorbachev's head? That would be Nobel worthy. Thought about that one. I can honestly spend an entire hour listening to all of Dr. Mance's professional accomplishments, like I did for all of our nominees tonight. They're so very impressive. But equally impressive to me is that this man was born on a farm in North Whitehall Township, walked a total of 4 miles to school each day. 2 miles to school, 2 miles back. And he's shaking his head, my gosh. Basically, a 2-room schoolhouse he walked to in the Neff Florida Station area. Dr. Mance called walking over some serious snowdrifts. The older farmers where Dr. Mance grew up spoke German first, and English was their second language, and electricity was sparse. Speaking to Dr. Mance was like taking a master class in the history of the Parkland School District. He experienced the end of the Troxel Building, which was the original high school until 1954. He then got to attend the new Parkland High School, Orso campus, which welcomed its first class in 1954. Some fun facts about Dr. Mance and his Parkland days. He loved these Saturday night dances where he got his groove on to live music. Yeah, Saturday night dances, live music. His love of music had him playing the trumpet in the Parkland band and the marching band. While the language offerings at Parkland were limited, he desperately wanted to take French, but he was rejected due to his strong German dialect. So he studied like that. Dr. Mance was either going to be a farmer or go to college. And he told me he would have been a horrible farmer, so So Cadaba College gave him a nice chunk of money, and the rest is history. Now, while this is not Dr. Mance's first Distinguished Alumni Award, he was named a Catawba College Distinguished Alumni in 2009, this is no doubt his most cherished. They only had him for 4 years, we had him for 12. So let's now enjoy Dr. Mance's video.
I'm Siona Patak, and I'm here with Dr. Arlen Mance, one of the newest Distinguished Alumni recipients. How does it feel to be recognized as a distinguished alumnus at Parkland?
Bit of a surprise. I'm 85 years old, and I've been away from Parkland for a long time. So it's a pleasure to know that that this program is going on. I think it's really important. Pretty nice. I'm not quite over it.
How did your time at Parkland set you up for success?
I started 9th grade when Parkland School District was formed in 1949. And so there were a lot of, rough edges at that time because, of course, it was a combination of North and South Whitehall Township. So it's quite different. Actually, I'll tell you one thing. I had mechanical drawing and metal shop and wood shop, which are things I learned in junior high, and I still use them today, especially the mechanical drawing and designing the equipment that I build for my research.
Do you have any particularly memorable teachers?
Well, Miss Farrow was the biology teacher. She was very strict, but she knew what she was doing. She was very good. And Mr. Leibenguth was a chemistry teacher. Those were probably the two outstanding teachers I had.
What has been the proudest or most memorable moment from your career?
When I finished a postdoc in France, actually the postdoc in France was a big deal. But when I finished there, I wanted to really become a professor. But in 1973 and 74, there were no positions available at all. And so it was a number of years later, when I was 50, that I decided that I'm going to really make the change and jump. And fortunately, it worked. I had some research interests in mind that I really wanted to pursue, and I'm a pretty lucky guy because I got to do it.
What is your advice for anyone who is looking into your field?
Well, I think for young students, I think they should really think about working very hard and doing the best they can, because the investment you make now will definitely pay off in the rest of your life.
Is there anything else you would like to highlight about being chosen as a distinguished alumnus?
Well, I'm proud of the fact that I was able to study molecules as low as 7 Kelvin, because normally a molecule at that temperature is not a vapor. It's a solid. Everything freezes. These are molecules in vapor phase. So that in itself is quite an accomplishment. The parameters of making this work are very tight, but we did it.
You learned that at Pitt, first week freshman year. So I know you're an avid sailor, so in your swag bag, Parkland band flops. Gets cold on the boat, you got a hoodie. Baseball hat and the band hat again. Gets windy, okay, I did notice when the 2 miles walking to and from school. I can't imagine that. Our kids would bus stop now for 5 minutes, and then they get all kinds of phone calls. So they're freezing, hypothermia set in, frostbite. 2 miles to and from school. Mary Kay's calculating time will take her to run that right now. So that's truly amazing. I had a great conversation. I actually sent Dr. Mance some of our class descriptions for EP Physics. I told him what classes we had, engineering courses. He let me do what other classes we did differently. We are in discussions with Mr. Plusso about that, Dr. Mance. I appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 1958, Dr. Alumni.
And this is my present to you. That's it. Well, anyway.
Light reading for me tonight.
It's an honor to be here,
And I'd like to introduce two other people who walked with me to school. My Aunt Ruth, who's 90 years old. There were 10 of us in the group. I was in first grade, and I walked the longest. So I was the group captain, even with that. A first grader, it was crazy. But anyway, I'm really impressed with the diversity of the group this year, and I have to admit, I was really looking forward to seeing how you had your hair done. I'd like to acknowledge, well, I have to acknowledge a lot of people, but first of all, my wife, Barbara, of 62 years. And next, I'd like to acknowledge also Barbara, my aunt, and Ruth for actually Googling. I think they had a lot of time on their hands for Googling and found my name, and we're seeing all this stuff in Google. And this, I wasn't in jail, so I figured it had to be pretty good. So they actually convinced my son, Dr. Eve Mance, he's a physical chemist, to write a proposal to nominate me. So thank all of them for getting me here. Thank you. I've had a lot of very friendly collaborators and co-authors in the work we do. You work intensely together for long periods of time, so you've got to be friends. And, well, it's just been a wonderful ride. Finally, I'd like to thank the Parkland High School Foundation for this kind of program. I think it's wonderful. And it would be nice to have students that would be exposed to a session like this, in order to just talk to people like ourselves, because we can really share things with them. I met many people in my field of work, and basically these are really all outstanding. There are two people who really made an impression on me, and I'd like to just share this with you. In 1962, NASA had their first summer institute in space physics, and it was held in response to Sputnik, which had been launched in '59. And I was one of 30 Americans, and there were 30 NATO people who participated in the program at Columbia University. It was a 6 weeks program, a graduate level program. And at the end of the 6 weeks, we toured all of the NASA facilities that existed at that time. NASA Goddard, Huntsville, and NASA and Cape Canaveral. At Huntsville, I met Werner von Braun and spent the day with him. The most impressive man I've ever met. He knew everything about everything they were doing. And it's no surprise that they were so successful in the Saturn program. They even did a test firing for F-1 engine, and it was just amazing. The other is Alexander Prokhorov. I know all of the three people who shared the Nobel Prize for lasers, but I met Alexander Prokhorov after Perestroika. It was during Perestroika. I was asked by the Army to report back to them on the work that Russian scientists were doing with Army support, because we were supporting a lot of Russian scientists so they wouldn't go to Iran or other places. At first I refused because I had been in Russia in the 70s, and Russia in the 70s was not a nice place to be. But I finally was convinced, and so in 1993, I went and we had this meeting. I met with Prokhorov, who was at that time the director of the General Physics Institute in Moscow, 6,000 physicists.
happen to you next time, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, what a truly distinguished group. So very talented and inspirational in so many ways. I honestly stand here in awe, I truly do. And speaking of inspirational and talented, please welcome the Superintendent of the Parkland School District, Dr. Mark Metz.
Thank you, Eric. And I know that tonight is a very special event for you as also a 2018 distinguished alumnus yourself. I'm sure you published many papers similar to the one you made. But we do appreciate your time and effort with us and everything that you do here in this district, and we certainly are lucky that you're able to continue to do this for us, so thank you. On behalf of the Parkland School Board and Parkland School District, I want to congratulate our outstanding alumni here this evening. I hope you leave tonight, everyone, really inspired by the power of education and the power of community. I mean, I didn't get to see these videos until just tonight, but I know even just for myself, picking up small things from each one is really just truly amazing. And at Parkland, we strive to provide the very best for our students, but we can't always do it alone. And so since this founding of the Parkland Education Foundation, we've been filling crucial gaps. And I know it was mentioned by one of our alumni this evening, Matt Binder, that we're providing over $2 million since its inception to support our schools, which is amazing. These dollars have enabled innovation, empowered educators, and expanded student opportunities. The foundation allows our community to directly support student programs, and it works. From past to present, Parkland is known for excellence in education, and we're committed to keeping it that way. Thank you for all of your support here tonight, and we are one team, and when Parkland succeeds, we all succeed. And I certainly look forward to continuing the celebration this evening at Lehigh County Country Club, and thank you for making it.
Today, we have seen the incredible legacy of Parkland in action. For our distinguished honorees, thank you for the pride you bring to your alma mater. To everyone in this room, thank you for being the heartbeat of the community. Super photographer Frank Mittman is here to take photos of you and your families before heading to the country club, where we will celebrate you. Now, just so you know, Joe Stephen used his NCIS intel to get Dr. Dorsheimer's Philadelphia Flyers credit card number. The drinks are on Gary tonight. If you feel uncomfortable with this, Mary Kay's trunk is full of wigs. You can go wig incognito and do whatever. Congratulations to everyone who's here.